Nancy, sanamukela ku Dijo Le Bophelo la kwa SABC2. This is your favorite show, ngoba it's the only show edila nge-food consciousness nawa health issues. Every week sinimeme ukuthi nisibuze noma yini enifuna ukuyazi mayelana nokudla. Bese ke thina siletha ongqondo bethu ukuthi baphendule imibuzo yenu. Today's viewer's question is from Sfiso Ndimande. He was inspired by last week's episode about nutritional information kuma food labels. So we decided ukuthi siqhubekele phambili ngejourney yethu of understanding nutritional information with him. In order to get more information kulama food labels wethu, he posted a video on Facebook.
Dijo, I have questions that I need answers to regarding food labels. Ngizamile ukutitfolela ukuthi yini kahle lokho kwephana ngihlulekile.
Sesahamba sayohlangana noSfiso to learn more about him before siphendula umbuzo wakhe. Bhekani.
My name is Sfiso Ndimande. I'm 25 years old. I live in Pretoria and I love music. But nyalo inkinga lenginayo ukuthi kumele ngikwadi lokho ngoba esikhathini esiningi mangiyobona dokotela uye athinze ema-nutrients ladingekako. Kuko konke lenkwentako ngihlale ngibambekile ngibebede isikhathi sekuthi ngikhone ku-check-a ama-food labels. Kuvame ukutholakala emva kwekotela kwekudla. Ngihlale ngiva abantu abaningi bakhuluma ngalama-terms lawo. Yaphana nginenkinga ngoba angadi manje ngifuna kwathi ukuthi yini kahle letinfo leti lesikhuluma ngato. And the importance of these terms or nutritions in our body.
As we are breaking, we are joined by allied healthcare professional Dr. Nicholas Partington, who will be answering imibuzo kaSfiso. Please join our conversation on Twitter @Dijo Le Bophelo, on Facebook Dijo Le Bophelo, or on email dijolebophelo@sabc.co.za. Siyabuya manje after the break. Welcome back. Dijo Le Bophelo. Today we are continuing ingxoxo yethu about nutritional information kuma food labels because our viewer Sfiso Ndimande ufuna ukwazi exactly dieting. Allied healthcare professional Dr. Nicholas Partington will be giving valuable answers to Sfiso's questions. Kodwa qala, let's find out more about him. Welcome, Dr. Partington.
Good to be here, and we hope we can provide some good information to those that need information.
I trust you will. Before the break, we heard that Sfiso keeps hearing and seeing terms guma food labels that he does not understand. So he would like us to explain about different terms that are used regarding a healthy yak. He has specific questions that he posted on the Facebook page here too, and we will be answering these questions with our expert namhlanje. You can also join in our conversation over to tweet @Dijo Le Bophelo on Facebook Dijo Le Bophelo, or on email dijolebophelo@sabc.co.za. So what are these food labels and what do they mean?
Way back in the 1970s, the Department of Health has put in place regulations. The Food, Cosmetics and Disinfectants Act of 1972 that guides the manufacturers, the suppliers of foodstuffs to follow certain guidelines in terms of the regulations.
Okay.
And we could probably explain this of some food label to explain the details
Brilliant.
of what is required.
So I have got this bread muffins in a moment.
Right. So if we look at this pack, before the company can put this in the supermarkets, in the hypermarkets, it has to reflect information here that protects the consumer so that no information is divulged or reflected here that can mislead, and secondly, can give information that would be not true
yes.
and valid in terms of the contents of this particular pack.
Okay, I think we should move on to Sfiso's next question.
Ngihlale ngiva kuthiwa kumele ngidle kahle in order for me to keep my cholesterol down. Ngicela ningicacisele ukuthi kusho ukuthini to keep my cholesterol down.
So, Doc, shall we start with what cholesterol actually is.
Yes. So I think in order to explain cholesterol, can we look at the food label itself to see the contents under nutritional information?
Okay.
Can we have a look at that?
The one that we looked at earlier
Yes,
on. Great.
yes.
I like that.
So here we find nutritional information on any pack, foodstuffs, it will have to contain this information.
Yes.
And under the foodstuff, under the nutritional information you find here, it's got fats.
Yes.
It's got saturated fats, it's got monounsaturated fats, it has polyunsaturated fats,
yes.
and then it will have cholesterol, and it may even have trans fats. So all these things tells us more about what is inside this particular product. Now we're talking about cholesterol.
Yes.
Now cholesterol, it's a general nutrient that we get from animal-based
Yes.
foods, and we've got to be careful how much we get on a daily basis.
Okay.
Right. So cholesterol is important, but now the moment I start eating a fair amount of animal foods, I'm going to get extra cholesterol.
Which you don't need.
Which we don't need. And I think the idea of this particular talk is to guide our hearers, our listeners, to what we can do to improve our health, to make sure that we don't become sick in time.
Which is what I like, because you brought this, and I like the fact that you've got a demonstration for us. Please.
So under normal conditions, if, for example, I follow can I call it a plant-based diet?
Yes.
So let's take this is our vessel, there's a little vessel over here, and it's open, I can clearly see through it, and this is basically following a plant-based diet. The body produces its own cholesterol, and for the functions that we explained. But now if over time I start using animal-based foods, whether it's red meats or chicken or fish, or the dairy products, what basically happens is that you'll find that the cholesterol, the extra cholesterol which the body doesn't need,
yes.
it doesn't know what to do with it. It then begins to get deposited inside the vessels, and more is added over time, and you can be clearly see that if I look through this over here, that there is a blockage over here. So the blood's got to flow through fairly easily.
Yes.
The moment I start eating these animal foods, it deposits cholesterol on the inside, and now the blood's got to flow through here, and so the heart has got to pump harder.
To get
the
through.
muscles contract harder to get the blood through here. So for 25, 30, 45 years, I am eating the wrong foods, and it's clogging up here. There are no symptoms, and one day I drive back from home and I have this feeling of stress, nauseousness, I'm sweating, and I'm ready for a heart attack.
You know, you are educating us right now. I don't believe it's late at all. I just want to hear his other question.
Lokunye ngihlale ngiva ukuthi kunekudla loku high in cholesterol, and then kunalokunye lokubhale ukuthi cholesterol free. Ngicela ningicacisele ukuthi kudla lokunjani lokho.
I think as we've been indicating so far is that there are two types of foods.
Yes.
There are the plant-based foods, don't contain cholesterol. And then there are the animal-based foods, contain cholesterol. I think we're talking here about the levels of cholesterol. For example, when you're working for an industry, you're mid-management, senior management, executive management, the company will send you once a year for a medical check, and they are going to check your general health status. And one of the things they're going to check would be your cholesterol level. And this
Why do they do that?
And because, as we explained, if your cholesterol level is high, these diseases may result, these chronic diseases of lifestyle, whether it's high blood pressure, whether it is heart attacks, whether it is obesity,
Yes.
et cetera, et cetera. So they would go to the local doctor, and they will then be having their cholesterol checked. Now, the cholesterol reading basically, for a healthy cholesterol should be between 4.4 and 4.9. That's just a unit expressed of the concentration, millimoles per liter.
Yes.
So here you can see a person is 30 years of age, and his cholesterol is about 4, and you can see he's on the green shaded. That means he's okay.
All right.
So here's a person stressed, he's senior management, and he's not feeling that well, and he goes to the doctor, and they're going to do it. He's 40 years of age, And you can see his cholesterol level is moving across to 6 to 7 to 8.
Yes.
And he is in the danger zone.
Okay, so this is a burger. This is what a lot of people eat. People that work. They say to me, I don't have time to cook. I don't have time to, you know what I mean? I don't have time to prepare the right food. I think that's just an excuse. So can we break down what this is in terms of cholesterol levels?
Now, here's a burger with some French fries. Firstly, what is interesting is that they've added some sesame seed to it to make it look healthy.
It's much healthier
It's
now.
much healthier. So who are they bluffing to make it look healthier? And secondly, so here we find something. It's called the bun itself, and it is actually flour that is used, that's refined flour.
White flour.
White flour.
Yes.
They've removed the fiber, and we're all short of fiber.
Yes.
That's why we become constipated and many other problems.
Piles.
Diabetes and piles and whatever. That's another problem. And secondly, they have now added some tomato sauce and some other spices.
Yes.
And that stimulates our taste buds. So the more we eat of these spicy foods, the more our taste buds are stimulated. They become actually weaker over time, and therefore I need more spices to taste the foods, and I'm therefore going to eat more as well. So the flour itself is white flour, it's refined, and I'm losing out on fiber. And many of the vitamins, as you change from the whole wheat grain to the white flours, you're also losing a lot of vitamins. And now we come into the patty itself. So the patty contains beef or whatever is in it, some meaty stuff, but they're normally high in saturated fats. And saturated fats tends to increase your cholesterol level.
Yes.
So there's cholesterol there as well. And looking at the French fries, we're looking at here, that this is normally prepared in what we call the omega-6 oils. These are sunflower oils and safflower oils and so on. And the sad thing is here that the French fries places, they use the oils over and over and over. And what happens is that the fats begin to change its molecular structure. It changes, whereas the body would recognize normal oils as good oils. But because overuse and because of the type of oil that's been used that is exposed to excessive amount of heat over time, you'll find that it now changes its structure to become the trans fats.
Which elevate your cholesterol.
Which elevates our cholesterol. And that is not good for us.
You brought me something. You brought me some ice cream. Are you going to tell me there's a lot of cholesterol in here too?
So just to demonstrate to you, to our viewers, the difference between the patty and the ice cream, can we look at something to show how risky we become in terms of our health status?
So before I open this, what you're basically saying is that this ice cream, the cholesterol and the fat in here, is equivalent to this that I'm about to reveal. Really? Right. Ta-da! I don't believe it. I really do not believe this, because some people eat this and then eat that. So you're saying the amount of fat and cholesterol is the same?
It is the same because these are animal foods, and what we explained here, we can contain over there. And it's clearly seen here that the ice cream, little dish, little bowl of ice cream here, is providing the same amount of cholesterol as what we had in that burger.
Should I check out the second tray? So in here, this. Doctor, so you are saying what's in here has got the same amount of fats and calories, mainly, or cholesterol levels, as what's in there. Why do you think a lot of people go for this?
The problem is that, you know, the old Chinese saying, we should have breakfast like a king, and lunch like a prince, and dinner like a pauper. Paupers are poor, they don't really eat.
Yes.
So yeah, we find that I had a big meal in the evening, and now comes breakfast. I'm not hungry, I've not got the time, I've got to take the kids here and there. So now I come to 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning, and I'm hungry, my blood sugar level is low, I'm looking for something.
You go for
and
this.
invariably the little ladies are now looking for something quickly, and this is what they're looking at.
This is what you guys are looking at. Are you ready? Watch.
And that's what it's all about.
These
little donuts, and it's got a lot of sugar across it.
I mean, look, it's got sugar. It's got sugar already in it. White flour. Then there's sugar icing, which is sugar. And then decoration, sugar. Like this is basically poison.
And it's got the white caking flour and all those things. And so the whole little donut is not good for us. And my desire for the peoples of South Africa is we want to be healthy.
Yes.
So much so that the government of South Africa, the Department of Health, have now taken position. Because of high levels of chronic disease amongst all of us,
Yes.
most of us,
Yes.
we got to cut down on sugars by next year, taxes.
The sugar tax.
Sugar tax.
Yes.
The next one, of course, is salt. So government is realizing, under pressure from the Dietetic Association, that we need to do something. And the whole world, Western type of lifestyle, we're not healthy people.
What I like about you, though, is that you're an example showing that it's possible to be done.
It's possible.
Selena ukuzibulala, guys. Yo. Right, should I move on to the next question?
Bantu bahlale bathi nangabe ungumuntu lovama ukugijima or take walks, you burn ema calories. Kokucala ngicela ngicacisele what are calories. Kwesibili nguthi kuze uwashise lama calories lawa, do you need matches? And so please explain that to me.
Do we need matches? That worries me. He might burn himself. What are calories?
It's a measure of the amount of energy I'm going to get from food to allow me to exercise.
So this ice cream, for example, it's got a lot of calories.
A lot of calories in there, yes.
And we need to know how to burn these calories.
Absolutely.
In order to do that, you brought me some envelopes.
Yes.
Okay. I like what you did here. So this is an envelope that reveals how much calories are in ice cream.
Yep.
So plus minus, they are 392 calories in ice cream. Now, in order to burn these 392 calories, I need to do 75 minutes of house chores. 75 minutes is about an hour and a bit. What would you equate doing house chores to for an average person watching our show?
If I take in that amount of food, and it provides me with that amount of energy,
Yes.
to be able to utilize this energy, I need to exercise that much.
Yes. Makes sense.
If I'm taking this amount of food, which provides energy, calories,
Yes.
and I'm only exercising that much, where does it go? It goes around the belly.
Aha.
And now we find that 60-70% of our ladies in Africa
Abdominal
are overweight.
obesity.
Abdominal obesity.
Oof.
And that's the problem. You can keep yourself healthy and fit by exercising. We don't exercise.
Something else you brought. So, ama-donuts, the way we want breakfast donut, lunch donut, supper donut. I want to bring those donuts back. Because, you know, it's so much better when people have got a view. When they see it, then they'll believe it. So, here are these donuts. And you know what it is, Doc? You don't eat one donut. They eat about 2, 3, 4 donuts. So, ama-donuts and ama-calories are 452. Do you understand? Now, in order to burn lama calories out 452, from lama donuts I enjoy, you need to do 90 minutes of painting. Mhlawumbe not just painting, maybe you can do something else, but I'm just talking about being physical, ube ngaphandle nani. You know what I mean? So we're on the same page. Now I'm going to fetch their favorite. Now, Lena, aina race, aina color, aina nix. This is your favorite. Tanda gabi burger. You know, these days, Dr. A large burger is an average burger. That's how it is. Now, mawudlale burger le. This is how much calories you are going into you. 1,330 calories inside you. Now, in order to burn these 1,330 calories, kumele wenze it is 4 hours and 57 minutes of running. So why don't you just help yourself or avoid ukudla ama-burger, ukudla ama-donuts, and try and cut down. And look, as you were saying, Dr. earlier on, we're not saying people must stop. We are just saying be aware of how many calories are in there and what you need to do to burn them. So maybe eat less, and as you said, the magic word, moderation. So, Doc, before we wrap up, is there a way for someone like Sfiso, or even me, people watching at home, how can I keep track of myself? How can I check if I'm okay? You know, what is it that I can do? Because I can't afford to go to the doctor at times, there's no time, it's too expensive. What is it that I can do to self-check?
As you wake up in the morning, you take your little 3 fingers and you put it there just next to the wrist, and there is my pulse.
Yes.
And that will give me so many beats per minute. So you take that little reading over there, and if it's 60 beats per minute and less,
yes,
it's an indication, some indication that you are okay.
You are fit. Doctor, thank you so much for coming through today. You have no idea, your information was more than Zaga. Zaga is cash. So thank you. Bagithi, ave ngifundile ke mina namhlanje. Kodwa wena ufundeni ngoba uyazi ukuthi ngithanda ukuzwa kuwe. Ngabe khona mhlambe into edopile kule ngxoxo yami no doctor. Share nathi ke ku Twitter uthi @DijoLe Bophelo or on Facebook uthi DijoLe Bophelo or on email dijoLebophelo@sabc.co.za wanga Instagram ungitshela ukuthi manje mawucheck ipulse yakho uvaya kuphi. This interview is being posted online for Sfiso ukuthi ayibukele athatha ama notes. Now ungaloga on usibukele ku SABC education page silapho ku YouTube. After the break sibuyela ku Sfiso to hear ukuthi ufundeni from Dr. Partington. Stay tuned, siyabuya khona manje. Welcome back. Sisasa sonke la ku DijoLe Bophelo on SABC2. When we met Sfiso earlier on la showini, ebefuna ukwazi ukuthi lama different terms abhalwe kuma food labels asho ukuthini for his health. He has seen ingxoxo yethu with the doctor online. Ake sibuyele ku Sfi and find out what is picked up from our chat with the expert.
Jabule kakhulu ngale mfundiso lengithole ku dokotela ngoba nyalo sengiyathi ukuthi kumcoka kakhulu ukuthi ufunze ema nutrients labhaliwe ukuze nawe wadi ukuthi atoxita njani ngendlela lehlukahlukene emtimbeni wakho. Kwesibili, dokotela uye wasitshengisa ngemehlo ukuthi bucoka nebungoti be cholesterol ukuthi mayisetulu kwendekani mayisephansi kwendekani. Ngifundzile ukuthi ipulse uyichecka njani futhi ngiyathi ukuthi ngihlola njani ngabe inhlitiyo yami ishayela etulu. Kusukela namuhla ke sengiyathi ukuthi kunezinhlobo tekudla lekumele ngikudle kunalokunye lekumele ngikudle kulokunye kumele ngikekele kulokunye kumele nginciphise. So from today onwards I know that I have to cut down kuma fast foods kudla lokunjalo lokunemafutha lokuningi esikhundleni kumele ngingete imifino ema vegetable ngidle ama fruits then for the health.
Ayaphela ke ishow yethu namhlanje kodwa ningastress niyazi ukuthi ishow yaqhubeka online. Awungiphonse ngetweet uthi @DijoLe Bophelo or on Facebook DijoLe Bophelo or wanga Instagram ku DijoLe Bophelo uzongithola lapho Instagram or email me dijolebophelo@sabc.co.za. Ngizonithola dra khona manje. Bakithi ningakhothi ukuthi le show le yenzelwe nina ukuthi nisibuze zonke bonke mayelana nokudla. Phela ngaphandle kwemibuzo yenu awutololo iDijoLe Bophelo. So please sebenzisa i-social media. Emaila fakiteki uhambe eposini ungishaye ngencwadi kwazi bani mhlambe kuzokhethwa umbuzo wakho as a question of the week for next week's show. Masihlangane la kwa SABC2 for more DijoLe Bophelo, same place same time. Ngikuthanda hu re ka Dijo tsaka le bophelo ba gago.